IVM.
It's been another great week on IVM Podcast, and if you're not following us on social media, please do. We're at IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, etc., etc. On our latest episodes of The Seen and the Unseen, Amit Verma is joined by author and columnist Vivek Kaul to decode how the government uses and misuses data for optics management. On Pulyabazi, Pranay and Saurav talk to author Snigdha Poonam about her new book, Dreamers. On Football Twaddle, we have Azim Banatwala as a guest with Saru, Baru and Kumar discussing the end of the UEFA Champions League. And on Who's Your Mommy, Veda talks about mothers and how they cope with their constant sleep deprivation. As I said, it's been a great week, and please try and listen to as many of these shows as you can. And now, on to your show.
Hello and welcome to the Geek Fruit Bulletin. This is our weekly sub-podcast where we discuss news/not news. So we're going to get right into the news and the not news, Jishnu. And let me give you our first headline of the day. James Marsden will be starring in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I know! What?
Wow! I didn't expect that.
Exactly. That's why I wanted to get right to it.
Damn.
We didn't even do our customary riffing, which we do because we're best friends.
Holy crap.
So yes, he is... a Sonic movie has been in the works for a long time, apparently. I did not know that. But
it takes a while to catch him.
It just gets away from you so fast. Do you think Tails will be in it?
They have to flip a coin before every scene.
And they go Sonic or Tails. But yeah, James Marsden is in this movie in a role that... so he'll be playing a human, not Sonic himself. I'm guessing Sonic will be completely CGI.
Mm-hmm.
But a role that Paul Rudd was also in consideration for, apparently.
That makes a lot more sense to me.
Paul Rudd more than James Marsden?
Yeah.
I feel they're both generically cool, handsome dudes. Slightly funny. James Marsden is a super underrated talent.
Right,
if you ask me.
but Paul Rudd is a lot funnier. I'm seeing this...
No. I feel like
pitch.
James Marsden can be hilarious. Have you seen him in 30 Rock? He's a genius in that.
No, I haven't actually.
He plays... he is Liz Lemon's final boyfriend, the one who eventually ends up with her. And he's just... it doesn't matter. It's a sitcom. But it's great. He's great.
Okay, do you know anything about the movie? Have they said what the plot is or anything?
No, they're being secretive about that. But I can also tell you that Deadpool, the director of the first Deadpool, Tim Miller...
Okay.
He is probably directing, or at least producing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see this being a cross between Frankenstein and Flubber.
Okay.
Yeah, so Marsden...
Two green things?
Well, no, but...
Flubber is green, Frankenstein is green. Sonic is blue, so you're wrong.
I'm not racist.
Yeah.
Calm down. No, so I think it's going to be Mr. Marsden finds a hedgehog, which he runs over. He then feels bad.
Okay.
He then wants to resurrect it. He does so.
Right.
But he then gives it some extra juice.
And it starts running
And it
fast.
starts running fast. And then it runs so fast that it hits a tree. And then a squirrel falls. And then he kills a squirrel. And then Marsden feels really bad. And he's like, crap, now I got to save somebody else.
Right.
And then it cuts right before he flips a coin to see, like, should I do this or shouldn't I?
Should I not?
And then you have the sequel with Tails.
How does Tails' tail become helicopterish?
I'm writing one movie at a time.
I'm not happy with this pitch.
Give me some time.
I really feel like you should have the entire universe mapped out before you come in here with a pitch.
I have to workshop it. Well, speaking of universe, here's another one.
Okay.
So Angelina Jolie and David...
Angelina Jolie?
I can never say his name.
Oyelowo.
Oyelowo?
Yeah. Oyelowo.
Oyelowo.
Yes.
Oyelowo.
Like that Coldplay song.
Oyelowo.
Yes.
Jolie and Oyelowo are going to star in a fantasy adventure called Come Away.
Okay.
Guess what that's about?
What's it about?
It is a prequel of Alice in Wonderland and Peter Pan.
No. Wait, what? Both?
All right, here we go. The movie imagines Peter and Alice as siblings before they went to Wonderland
Shut
and
your
Neverland.
Face.
When their eldest brother dies in a tragic accident, they each try to save their parents, played by Jolie and Oyelowo, from their downward spirals of despair until finally they are forced to choose between home and imagination.
Oh my god, how does one unsubscribe from this entire thing?
It's being directed by Brenda Chapman, who was last known for doing Pixar's Brave. So this is her first live-action thingy.
Okay.
So,
Pixar's Brave is fun.
I never saw it, but I know it made a lot of waves.
Her mom turns into a bear.
Oh, that's
cool.
fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, that's the thing.
I don't know. Why just because they're public domain doesn't mean you take like two great stories and then match them together into like a random thingy. See, I will say it
Capitalism.
could be great.
That's
yes,
what
I
I'll say.
suppose so. Things like this can be great, like Pride and Prejudice and zombies. Cool.
Sure.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, but fun. But this doesn't seem like it'll have that sort of like self-aware irony that made those things work. So I don't know. I'm not on board.
Yep.
So what are you doing, Angelina Jolie and David Oyelowo?
Okay, so here's another one. Netflix is now starting comic books.
What?
Yeah,
Like in print?
in print.
Okay.
It's a thing. It's called
Why?
it's called The Magic Order. It's written by Mark Miller, who you might know from
Right.
Kick-Ass, Kingsman, and
Yes,
Old
yes,
Man
yes.
Logan. Right?
I knew they were figuring out a deal with him. I didn't know it was to write comic books. I
So
figured it was
they've-
for adaptations of his stuff.
So they've Netflix has just unveiled a trailer for it. So it's a trailer for a comic. So it's like a motion comic
Yes.
trailer thingy,
Right.
which will go on sale June 13th. So it's just around the corner.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's going to be a 6-part series,
So,
6
I mean,
issues.
I'm sure the idea here is to put out a comic because Mark Miller's fans are comic fans.
Pretty much.
And then turn it into a series eventually.
Basically.
It's like, are we at a point now where we can't, like, it's illegal to create original video content and movies? So you have to, like, if they were just going to make a movie, we'd be like, what are you, mad? Don't just make a movie. You have to base it on a comic.
You have to beta test this
Yeah.
in print form first.
So
Yes,
they
yeah.
made a comic book, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Basically. But yeah, it's called The Magic Order. It's about 5 families of magicians sworn to protect our world and must battle enemies who are picking them off one by one. And by the end of the day, they live amongst themselves as neighbors, friends, and co-workers. But by night, they are sorcerers, magicians, and wizards.
This actually sounds kind of interesting.
I mean, that sounds as
That sounds fun.
normal as they come. That's very unspecific.
What world do you hang out in? They're
I mean,
magicians.
That's nothing. It's just like during the day.
Magicians
During
by-
the day, they're fine.
Yeah.
And at night, they do magic things.
Amazing.
So I'm like, okay, but
Sign me up.
But what do they do? Like, why is that?
Magic things, Jishnu.
This could be Harry Potter.
Well, yeah, and I
So,
like Harry Potter.
Like, anyway, it's a very non-specific trailer and a very non-specific
I'm sure it is.
blurb about it.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens come June 13th.
I'm gonna wait for the inevitable series,
Yeah.
and then be one of those people who go like, "Oh, I think the book was better."
Okay.
All right. I have some news for you
Oh,
about
wow.
my
We're on
other
a
best
roll.
friend,
Damn.
Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, geez.
Jeff Goldblum is recording his first jazz album.
What?
I know.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
This
so
is
good.
so amazing.
Is it like original stuff?
You seen him?
Or
Original stuff.
Yes.
You've seen him play.
yeah.
And he's great.
He's
He's
amazing.
surprisingly
is
good.
Is he singing on it?
I don't know.
Is he doing spoken word?
Wait, it's on Decca Records, and that's a legit great
Yeah.
jazz label. So it must be like some fairly serious music he's doing. There's no word on anything right now when it'll come out or what it's like, but yeah, he's pretty great. And this is going to be really fun.
Just a random recommendation if you want to see Mr. Goldblum at work, tickling ivories, look up his performance on The Graham Norton Show. He did it with Gregory Porter.
Yes.
Brilliant freaking voice. They did a cover of Nat King Cole's, I forget what song it is. Might be Unforgettable. I could be wrong.
Okay.
I forget. But it was just Jeff Goldblum and Gregory Porter. And apparently, it was a pretty much improv performance.
Really?
And it was amazing. Like, they had one rehearsal, like, that afternoon or whatever. And then he's like, come play piano on the show. And so he just, like, it's great. Because watching Jeff Goldblum play piano is like watching Jeff Goldblum act. Because
Yes.
he does the exact same weird isms,
Yeah.
except on film, it's funny because it's like nobody makes these hand movements and gestures. That's weird. But when he does it on a piano, it's like it makes sense because he's playing a really cool
Do you
jazz
think
chord.
Jeff
So
Goldblum
it's
is
like-
constantly playing air piano and that's why he
Yes.
talks the way he does?
Yes.
I see.
And I also want to know what he's chewing on. You notice he's always chewing on like a lozenge.
Yes.
He's always got like a little candy in his mouth, and he's always
So there's this one interview he does on Conan where he's talking and pointing and he always has that lozenge in his mouth and he almost chokes on it. So halfway through answering, he just goes like, and Conan's like, what is happening? And then he goes like, I'm so sorry. I almost choked. I was having a lozenge. And then Conan like rips into him because they have a great equation. If you just start watching the first Conan Jeff Goldblum video and go from there, that's like about 45 minutes of some very entertaining stuff. I would highly recommend you do that.
I am a fan.
All right.
Wow, this was the most newsworthy. Wait, is there more news?
I'm going to give you one
Holy
last headline
shit,
just because the headline alone is hilarious enough.
This is a full-blown Geek Fruit episode now.
Yes, it is. Sesame Street's producers are suing the Puppet Jizz movie.
We'll just leave it at that.
Exactly.
All right then.
This has been the Geek Fruit Bulletin. Tune into our full episode this week where we're discussing one of our favorite franchises. Well, literally our favorite franchise, Star Wars, and the latest entrant in it, Solo, a Star Wars story. This has been the Geek Fruit Bulletin. See all you nerds.
There she stands, a podcast addict. Outside the bank, having travelled several miles to get in with other poor souls like her. The journey, though daunting for this youngling, will have some comfort because she has downloaded her favourite podcast. You can see more of her species on ivmpodcasts.com, your one-stop destination where you can check out the coolest Indian podcasts. Happy listening.